Hi, what's up, guys? Welcome back to American Guy, Chinese Girl.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah, my name is Shuang. This is Noah, and today we are gonna be talking about the controversy Blake Lively has been facing these days. So I think this controversy all started with an interview. This interviewer put a video that she interviewed Blake Lively about 8 years ago. The video is about 4 minutes long, and it's basically many people are saying, like, from this video they can tell Blake Lively is really mean, has been neglecting
So mean.
the interviewer, and she's mainly talking with the co-star, and we have both watched the video. I think she looks pretty mean and not very friendly. What do you think?
Okay, so I'm here to talk about this a little bit because Shuang brought this thing to me, and I don't know a whole lot about Blake Lively or her background or anything like that, but I know who she is, and I did watch the video, and I would say that yes, I do think there was a degree to which she was, as Shuang said, I don't know if you said it right now in this video, but sort of mean girl attitude. And where, she focused more on the conversation with the co-star, and there was clearly a wall or a negative sentiment between Blake Lively and the interviewer, and really between both the actresses and the interviewer. And so, yes, that is true. And then the other thing that I think is, as the interview went on, things got better. And also, when you have a career that's 20 years long or so, as Blake Lively does, anybody that's in the public eye and doing interviews, and maybe doing hundreds of interviews a year, at some point in time, you're going to have a moment where you're not getting along with the person that's interviewing you. And nobody, if you put a camera on them 24/7 for 20 years, is not going to have a moment where they're a little bit of a grouch, or they don't quite act as nice as they could have, or they act a little bit mean. And so I think if this is a controversy, then I guess there's not really much going on in the world right now. That's kind of my view. I think people blow it out of proportion. And I think also people look to tear down people that have had a long run of success and not had a controversy, which it seems that's the case for Blake Lively. People sort of have at least in my understanding of American culture, people sort of revere her. A lot of people look up to her. A lot of people think she's, I don't know if you'd say the epitome of class, but that she is a very classy lady. And people look up to her. And so they have for 20 years. She's been popular and well-liked. And I think when people get bored, they look to tear people down, and a controversy pops up. Oh, Blake Lively's mean. And then everyone just piles on. And before you even try to investigate if there's any truth, people like red meat. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think this interview started this whole controversy, but then people started digging, her past, and then especially her recent other interviews about her new movie, It Ends With Us. And then I think in one interview, what she did was not so appropriate. The new movie, it's about domestic violence, but when the host was kind of asking her, how do these domestic violence survivors reach out to you, she was flashing her hair and talk about oh, I don't know, do you want my phone number or address? Like, she is not really taking the question seriously and show empathy. And I think in other interviews about promoting the movie, she just kind of, it's all about promoting her own hair care or makeup, product, rather than, truly talking about the movie. I think that's a part of her controversy. But clearly, neither Noah and I, or basically many people, not really know her personally. So it's very hard to judge from what you can see, all this public stuff.
It's very rare that anybody is, perfectly generous or thoughtful, around the clock from the moment they wake up to the moment they go to sleep. And so I think that, you're going to find flaws in people. And so she's almost certainly a flawed person. And if you look closely, you're going to see some flaws. And so, maybe it's legitimate to call her out on some of these things, but the idea of canceling, like that's what I was hearing is the term canceling is like
cancel Blake Lively.
She's now some horrible thing that needs to be canceled. I think that's absurd. It's ridiculous, and it's just.
You think it's extreme?
Yes, it's. Yeah, people need to find something to do instead of trying to tear down people that are. If you actually met them, if you actually you can see even in the interview that is the controversial interview that supposedly almost made this woman want to quit. You don't know necessarily things behind the scenes. By the way, that interview likely doesn't show everything. Maybe Blake Lively was even worse behind the scenes. So I'm not purporting to know, but I will say even in that interview that is supposedly this big controversial thing. Yeah. Towards the end of the interview, like the first maybe a minute and a half, Blake Lively's kind of catty.
MeanGirl.
Yeah, and then by the second half of the video, the dynamic shifts quite a bit, and I think it starts with the other actress, and then Blake Lively's attitude changes as well. So you could maybe make the argument she's just sort of following the other actress, but I think it probably has to do with the dynamic of the interviewer as well. That the interviewer looks kind of caught off guard in that particular 4-minute clip. But what you don't see are things that she may have said that are inappropriate, whether she intended for them to be inappropriate or not. She may have said things that are very unfair or difficult for the actresses to deal with, and put them on a defensive mode. And so you don't have the full context of the video.
Off the camera,
that wasn't in that clip. When you don't have the full context of things, when we see this all the time in media, where things are pulled out of context, and you have to have the context. And that's the problem with a lot of media, is it's really hard to supply a full context, in particular with things that are controversial or disagreeable. As she gets later into the interview, she eases up, and her attitude towards the interviewer changes a bit. And so I just think that the actresses weren't comfortable, and they didn't handle it as well as maybe they should have.
Maturely.
They didn't handle it maturely.
Mature. Yeah. Or professionally.
Yeah. But I don't think you can... that happened, but you don't condemn somebody for that. It's pretty mild. I guess I'll just say in general, whenever you're faced with these, pop controversies, I think it's better to just be patient and not rush to judgment. Most of these people are complex people. They're not perfect. They're flawed, but a lot of them are, at least to a degree, remarkable people. Most of these people don't reach these levels of sort of popularity or success by being sort of untalented or unskilled or unlikable. Or most of these people reach their levels of success because they have attributes that are admirable. So if you actually get to know these people on a personal level, I think a lot of them have wisdom and maturity and grace that is, I hesitate to call it extraordinary, because that maybe shoots a little above where I want to go. They're people just like everyone else. They're not gods. They're not angels. They're people. But they are people that are achieving on an admirable level, And so a lot of them are admirable. Not all, but a lot of them are.
Yeah. I think I can definitely, kind of sense the reason why that video that, the video interviewer put out about, that video, why is that the reason why that video becomes so viral is I feel like so many people can relate, especially for example, you are talking in a group setting, sometimes it can be 3 people, and many people definitely can feel like sometimes you get, especially these people you don't have extensive relationship, you don't know that well yet, you don't really have history or trust, and then they started to ignore you or leave you out of the conversation. They are just like best friends and talking, and then never even bother to invite you. So that's what I say also in the comment section about this viral video. It's like so many people can relate, and they call it a kind of bully. I think it sometimes can definitely be bullying, and it's just a very catty or subtle way of make you feel bad, make you leave out. So I can definitely relate why so many people,
I can see that too. It definitely was like a moment of sort of bullying and catty, mean girl behavior. That's what it was. But it's one moment, and you just got to keep that in mind, keep that in perspective. And, if you're going to try to condemn somebody, if you want to cast judgment on somebody, then you should juxtapose that one moment with all of the other moments. So you need to be God and look at the entirety of her life, and then you can judge her.
Right.
But to take one moment or even a handful of moments and then say this person is canceled, put it in perspective with, let's also do research on all the good things that she's done. And my guess is you'll find that these mean girl moments pale in comparison to the good things. And I could be completely wrong about that, but
yeah, she could be a horrible person.
I don't think anybody...
She could be a wonderful person.
She could be. But I don't think that anybody rejoicing in the controversy that's going on right now, anybody rejoicing in this cancellation or the fall of Blake Lively, I don't think any of them are going around researching all the charitable things that she's done in her life, all the kindnesses that she's done with her family or friends or strangers, or on movie sets or across industries. I don't think anybody that's rejoicing in the controversy is actually trying to know actually her. They're just rejoicing in the fall. So call out what you see, but you got to put it in perspective.
The truth is we don't know. We were not there with them. And also I think another day when we talked about this first, you mentioned a really interesting perspective. You said there could be someone, maybe higher up in the entertainment industry that Blake Lively just happened to piss off that person. And then, you want to talk a little about that?
Sure. I mean, I have no idea if that's the case here at all. And if I were to guess, I'd say probably not. But it wouldn't be the first time that when, people that are operating in the upper echelons of society wrong the wrong person, that sort of slanderous materials start to emerge in pop culture, and they get shared on Facebook, and they get shared through YouTube, and they get shared through social media, and they get shared through the legacy media as well. I guess I can leave it at that. Yeah. So do we have more to say?
I
guess that's it.
Yeah. That's our perspective on the Blake Lively incident or what?
Yes.
Incident. Okay, so stay tuned.
Thanks
we'll
you guys for watching American Guy, Chinese Girl. Thank you for gracing our channel with your presence, and maybe dropping us a like.
Yeah.
Maybe saying, I don't know.
We're awesome.
Yeah, dropping
in the comments.
All right, thank you guys for watching our channel and for coming and checking us out. We appreciate you guys being here, and we hope that our perspective had something to offer to you, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Yeah, have a good day. Bye.
Peace out. Bye-bye.